Hey everybody, welcome back to Complete Trader Academy's daily review. Today is March 10, Friday, 2023. All right, take a look here. We got this big bearish candle again. Price came up, went back into a 1 hour imbalance, sank down and settled. So we're still in this block here, but you can see we're obviously headed for that imbalance here on the daily, plus that juicy low with that low, so equal lows with an imbalance. So a lot of liquidity there. And yep, let's go into a smaller time frame here. Let me go to a 1 hour first. As you see here that we had this big imbalance right here. We had a high sitting in here, so that was first target. And then to seal this price up, even tap into this, sure enough, tapped beautifully. Let me go into a smaller time frame, 5 minute. You'll see here that we gapped open here, drag it to the right. You'll see it acts as support and resistance. And there is that high right there. That's a big juicy high. Price came up. So you see order flow kind of going up. It's 8 o'clock. It's 9:30. We tap under this, take out the liquidity here. We have this liquidity here, but we did see nice reactions there. So we're looking for the upside, generally that high, and then that imbalance sitting there. Sure enough, I thought it'd go a little bit higher, at least halfway, but all it needs is to tap it. So, and then here I got to go into a 1 minute because 5 minutes not enough. So you'll see here that we took out liquidity right here. Nice reaction, bullish candle closing. Price coming back in. Could have been a buyer right there. That's not enough for me though. Then we had this candle come down, open up, close. Next candle taps into this block right here. That's a buy for me. And price comes up, comes back down. Now we thought this might have been holding as resistance, but I do know that we do got some top side to take care of. And I'm still looking for bearish prices though. So you have to understand, this is not something that I don't get married to certain ideas. I do flow with it, and you want to also just flow with it as well. You can see the reactions as you do this after year after year after year. You'll see obviously this over and over again. But so price leaves this big imbalance, taps in, could have been a buyer there. Your stop loss would have been underneath this low, this candle, which is the beginning of the imbalance. This is the second candle. Price digs in it, holds, bodies respect. You could have been a buyer again right there because this is tapping into a 5 minute block. Right here, this is a 5 minute block. If you could, if I'll go to a 5 minute, you can see it. Yep, there's your 5 minute block right there, and taps and holds, and then you got a little bit of order flow. Let me go back to a 1 minute. And then you'll see here. All right, so price starts creating imbalances, rushing, all bullish, all blue, in your case green maybe, and holds, comes back up, takes, you see this right here? Almost takes liquidity right there, doesn't. And this is a short range. This is NFP day, right? So it's, you got to be very, very careful in what you do. You can be in and out. Scalping is great. Someone holding and doing long positions, it's not really going to work too well unless you're catching the right move and you're on the right side of the market. But you see the flow happening. You see that high here, and then we have this imbalance. So we're looking for the, as you see, creating more imbalances. You could have been a buyer in here, but I wouldn't have took that. This, for me, it's too much. Once it broke underneath this, I wasn't interested in taking the buy. Didn't say it wouldn't still been a buy, but I wanted some more order flow here, but I didn't catch no order flow anymore here until you got right here. You could have been a buyer right in this imbalance, dragged that out, took that up. All right, so then when we got up here, all right, I got 80% off. Now, we got this big ass imbalance that shows right in front of you. To me, I know it's not it's not gonna. This is the sell. This is what we've been looking for. We purged above liquidity right here. We're having big major signs that we have an imbalance. We want to see lower prices anyway. We know the market's bleeding. We know we have a lot of agendas down there. And this is it. I mean, watch previous videos. You'll see that's what we're looking for. Yes, can we go all the way up here and get into this imbalance sitting in here? Sure. But at the same time, news didn't want to do that. They want to take this price down. And if you take a look at the last 2, 3, 4 days, you'll be able to see the same behavior. And today was exactly yesterday. I mean, look at yesterday. We came up. We got into the imbalance. We tapped in. We didn't even need to go all the way up there. And then we started making a lower low, a lower high, and structure. This was the same exact day. Literally no difference. So price came up. And you can feel it. When you're live in trades, especially on the 1 minute chart, you can feel it. I mean, you get this sign here, and you're like, oh, I don't know about that, right? It automatically tells you, your intuition is like, yo, I think I want to get out. Then you have an imbalance, and it shows proper structure as far as bearish. Comes down, another imbalance, perfectly coming down, and then right here you see this imbalance here. If you drag that out, it's holding price. Now we're getting to the gap here, okay? And we're on the 1 minute, right? Yeah. And once the price comes down and creates this imbalance, I hate when they do that. I don't know why. I wish somebody could help me out, man. If you could text me or right here and let me know how I can stop them from making this, light up like that. Anyways, I swear I haven't figured that out. Anyways, imbalance in between here. Price then peaks above, and you have that gap right there, which is nice. That's what I want to see. I want to see weakness. I want to see strength to the downside if I'm going bearish. So ended up, price taps in, you're an automatic seller, price comes down, breaks this structure here, grabs this. I don't look at that as a liquidity grab because I'm looking for lower prices coming down. We got this low here, which is the low of the day as of now, and we want to break that low of day. And we're going to make a better low a day because we know it's going to be a big bearish day. In general, it's supposed to be news. It was funny at first, right? Anyways, price comes back down, comes back up, hits the gap. Look how it hits the gap. 3 times, goes back 4 times, almost 5. Comes into the gap, comes down, creates another imbalance. Boom, you're automatic seller there as well. Seller here. And follow order flow. You could have been a seller here technically. And then again, your opportunity of selling, you could go on a 10-second chart, have more opportunity, because when you're on a 10-second chart, the only reason why I would ever use a 10-second chart is to get a reversal. I don't try to catch reversals, but I try to catch the order flow. But then you want to also use a 10-second chart, or you can use 15 or 30 if you like, but that's when you know that you're bearish and it's running. See, this is running. We don't have major pullbacks. It's not complicating like this. You see all this shit. This is complicating, right? This is high resistance. This is low resistance, just running through easily, and that's what I like to see. And that's what I want to be a part of, obviously. So price taps in, and then you're a seller. You could have been a seller here too. All right, could have been a seller there. And after that, I mean, you're taking your projection from C to B. You take the outline, look where it comes to, 2 standard deviations, very nice. If when you got to 1.5 standard deviation, you don't see any order flow breaking up. So there's no reason to get out of your trade. I mean, you can take 50% right here or 80% here, but in general, there's no reason to get out of your trade. Hold until you see order flow. So when it got to the 2 standard deviation, pops up, you got a little bit of action here, but that's not enough. Then price comes up right here. See, once it comes above here and breaks all those yellow candles, and then it creates an imbalance, taps in, that you're done. I mean, there's no way I'm going to keep holding into that because, as you see, we did a nice retracement. Now, I mean, I'm not scared of a retracement, but this is NFP. Price can, I mean, literally in the last hour can just be up here out of nowhere. So that's how you want to that's how you want to think of it. So other than that, let's go back to a daily chart here. You'll see this is where we're sitting. So we do have, always mark your imbalances on your daily chart, even though they might not get hit. Like as you see, I didn't expect it to have to go up there. So the difference between these imbalances, here, let me just draw them so my OCD doesn't go crazy here. Hold on a second. So you see here, the reason why, like right here, when we were in this range and we came back up, yes, because it's in this range. So this is common. Now on the flip side, it could have been something like this over here. You see this? I mean, well, actually, it was something like this, to be honest, and something like this. But the thing is that when you're close to this range, the algorithm wants to run for price, because we've been holding for 3 months to the point where we got so comfortable that you just, you don't even expect this to get hit anymore. You're thinking it might even go bullish, right? But we know it was coming down. But when you had this big imbalance, it did tap in, and that's enough. You can go back test all the major imbalances. Look at this one right here. You see how it just taps? It never went all the way up here, but that's good enough, right? So you have to keep that in mind. And it's not, when you see 1 minute bearish coming down, once it taps, then that's a good sign that it's not going to hold and we're going to come back up. When we had this one, yes, you have ranging down, getting close. You see how it didn't take this out? Then it came back in, took care of its job. When it came here, we're so close to this and we want to get to this objectives here, right, that the price is going to run. You got to expect running, right, especially US 30. So anyways, taps in here, comes down. It's the previous day. We have another gap here, and for the price to come back in, if you have a bearish day, this is a price that the price comes back, retraces. Could it have tapped that? Sure, it doesn't have to, but it got close enough to, this is a break of structure here, right? So it doesn't have to tap in, but it's NFP, can do whatever it wants. But in general, you're expecting some type of, where's your high of the day? Where's your low of the day going to be? Well, this was your high of the day. If this is your high of the day and you've tapped into a 1 hour imbalance, which I just showed you here, if you've tapped that in, that's your high of the day. If you're a bearish day, just like this, you see here, we open up, high of the day, low of the day. So price already came down pretty good. See, now if the price, when we opened up, didn't come down as much as it did, I would have been like, okay, if we were just still here, I would have said, okay, we'll run up pretty high. But I mean, we were already down here. So price came up, got into this, smacked it. I mean, filled all this, got into that, and then your low of the day is where? Well, you're obviously going to sell liquidity, right? Because that's your low of the day when we were in here. So you're looking at that, price is coming down, and then you're expecting your low of the day. Could it have took that? Could we waited for that? Sure, but I mean, that's not that realistic all in today. So as far as, and that's what I'm saying, like, if you watch the previous videos, look at the structure. It's actually pretty beautiful. If you ask me, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? Breaks above, comes up, takes that high, comes above, and this is your lower high of this swing from here to here. It's not a great one. They don't have to. Is it even 50%? Probably from here to here. But the point is that when you got this imbalance, they're not gonna seal price for you perfectly. So you have to expect lower high, lower high days, right? This is it's pretty much like a buy, a short-term buy, and a long sell. That's how you have to look at it in a downward movement. So price came up, did the same thing, and what do we have today? We had a buy and we had a sell, pretty much. So, all right. So now, as far as back to the daily chart, real quick, what do we have? I mean, we had that gap here. Price can revisit that gap since we're down here. It's going to be a nice little shakeout here. I mean, we're going to reach this high. As far as getting back into here, I don't see that happening anytime soon. And if the news didn't even push it up this way, I'm not even going to count these right here. So, I mean, I can, what I'll probably do is I'll delete this, delete this, delete this. And then what I'll do is just show you what's left in the imbalance. And I'm cool with that. I'm not gonna, that's not present, it's not present moment imbalance to me anymore. This one is a little suspect, but that's another day. I don't see us coming up there. So right now, when we open up next week, and I think we have news next week too. But what I wanted to show you also, so I don't forget, because I always forget everything I want to mention in these videos. The dollar was not really helpful until the end of the day, but it gave you the bias. But I'm gonna go straight to. You had this big divergence right here on the indices. That's why we took the lower. That's why we took the sell, because when it broke above, Dow Jones was the only one to actually take the highs out. Here we had lower high, lower high. That's a divergence right there, and weak market, and that's was to confirm your sell when you got up here. So I really wanted to take the sells up here, but because it was NFP, I'm being more safe. I'm gonna wait for more order flow, but that was also the pretense for taking it down. All right, so hope this helps. And then let me see. I always forget something, but yeah, that's pretty much where we're at here. You can see that we have that imbalance there. We have this target here, so we're probably gonna either inch our way down like how we did here, inch our way down to grab that, and then once we take that, we'll probably bounce back up for this imbalance. All right, you guys take care. Have a good weekend, and God bless.